FAL guys. Check mo sirida. I got a South African R1 manual. Today we're gonna look at some basic FAL drills and weapon handling stuff that were taught to the South African recruits back in the days. So let's get going. Alright, the first step is filling a magazine. According to South African doctrine, you're going to grip the magazine with your left hand, the front of the magazine facing yourself. Then you're going to rest the magazine on your knees or on any other hard surface. You're going to take the bullet and you're going to put it into the mag tip facing you. Alright? And you're going to use your thumb to press it down. Alright, and that's it. Now if you did it correctly, you would have 20 rounds in your mag. And if you have butterfingers I have, you might have dropped 1 or 2 rounds. Well yeah, let's go to the next step. Alright, the next step is to charge the FAL. In order to do it, we're going to take the mag, we're going to tilt it, 45-degree angle, move it back till it clicks in. Then we're going to take our hand, put it on the lever, move it all the way back, and let it go. This, my friends, is how to charge an FAL. To unload the FAL, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the mag out, put the mag away. Then we're going to take the charging handle, move it all the way back, eject the round. We're going to let go of the charging handle, let it go forward. We're going to put the safety lever onto R, which means fire, go into firing position, dry fire it, and put the safety lever back on S. And this is how you unload the FAL. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is the different shooting positions. The first one is standing. For that, we're going to have the left foot slightly in front of the right foot. We're going to make sure that we're balanced between those two feet. We're going to raise the rifle. We're going to have our right elbow all the way out so that maximum amount of our meat can hit the buttstock so that we can absorb the recoil. And it's going to look like this. And that, my friend, is the standing shooting position. Alright, now we're going to look at the kneeling position. To get a proper kneeling position, we're going to put our left elbow on top of our knee. Make sure meat hits bone or bone hits meat. Don't put your elbow bone onto your kneecaps. That will destroy them in the long run. Then we're going to take the rifle up. We're going to put our rear onto the heel of our right foot. We're going to put the buttstock against our shoulder and have our elbow all the way up to absorb the recoil. And this, my friend, is the kneeling position. The next thing we're going to look at is the sitting position. The South African Defense Forces recognize 2 ways of a sitting shooting position. One with the heels together, the other one with the heels apart. And it's very easy to do it. For heels together, you put your heels together, you place your arms or your elbows on your knees. Again, make sure that meat hits the bone and not bone on bone. And you aim down range. For the heels apart method, place your 2 heels apart, raise up your gun, do the exact same steps as before, and that's it. And this, my friend, is the sitting position. Alright, the last position we're going to look at is the prone position. Now, according to the South Africans, you do it slightly different to what the Western world does. And it starts with putting the weight of the rifle in your left hand, okay? The weight of the rifle is going to be your left hand. You're going to bend your left knee and you're going to extend your right arm to hit the ground, okay? The butt of the rifle will go underneath your shoulder, right? And it's going to look like this. You have your feet apart, comfortably apart, and yeah, that's the prone position. Now we're going to look at 2 different ways of how to carry an FAL in a combat zone. According to the South African Wehrmacht, there are 2 types. The first one is the high port method. The high port method is usually used when walking through dense vegetation or through water or just any like kind of environment where you want to keep the muzzle out of any type of like vegetation or whatnot. So for that, we're going to grip the FAL like this. We're going to have the left hand on the handguard, right hand on the pistol grip. The stock is below or right on our waistline on the right side. And that's basically it. And this method is called the high point. Alright, the next position is called the alert position. The alert position was used when being on patrol or in contact was imminent. For that, we're going to move the butt of the rifle into our shoulder. We're going to point the muzzle down. We're going to make sure that we're not going to flag anyone. And this enables us to quickly raise our rifle and go into shooting position out of walking. It's going to look like that. This is the alert position. And this concludes the series of the two different positions for carrying the FAL in a combat environment according to the South African Weermacht. Alright, now we're just going to look at two different positions, and that is the kneeling position and the sitting position behind cover. For any kind of position, kneeling or sitting or even standing behind cover, the South African Army doesn't recommend resting the barrel or the mag on the cover. Doing so might prevent the shots from going too low or makes them go too high, alright? So if I'm going to go into a kneeling position behind cover, it's going to look like this. I'm going to make sure I've got a field view of my battlefield. I make sure that the rifle is not resting on the cover. I'm trying to put my elbow, as described, on my knee to make sure I got a stable position so I can fire upon the enemy. It's going to look like this. This is the kneeling position behind cover. I can also do the sitting position behind cover. And again, the same principles apply of not resting the barrel or the mag on the cover. And it's going to look like this. Alright, and now let's look at a standing position shooting. As described previously, I'm going to have a good balance between my 2 feet, and my left arm is going to be all the way up, so the most meat is on the stock. Alright, this, my friend, is the standing position. This, my friend, concludes the basic South African Defence Force weapon drills and manipulations with the FAL. Keep in mind, the manual was written in the 60s and slightly updated throughout the years. My edition is dated 1981, so it might not be the most modern or up-to-date weapon manipulations and handling techniques, yet they do work. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye donkey, en geniet jouw dag.